Y'all, can I tell you about these Tecovas boots? I don't know if y'all know this, but these boots are handmade, high quality, stylish, and comfortable right out of the box. I know we buy everything online these days, but boots are something you really should get fitted for. And it just so happens Tecovas is based right here in Austin. So come shop with me at the Tecovas store on South Congress or the Domain. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. There is no better known icon of the Texas lifestyle than a pickup truck. Nothing says Texas like an F-150. But increasingly, it's not your daddy's pickup truck that you see most around town. It's the stainless steel boxy thing made in a factory out by the airport. It's time to talk about Cybertrucks, y'all. Today on CityCast Austin, we're going to talk to someone who has an up-close and personal relationship with them because they drive on him. Or at least on the highway, our guest pretends to be on X and Instagram as the meme account Evil Mopac. Whether Evil Mopac's roasting Cybertrucks online, saying they can carry as much as a Toyota Camry, or using memes to poke fun at the Austin drivers that use the shoulder on the highway to maneuver around traffic while the rest of us suffer, they get us and they crack us up. Now, we've disguised their voice to keep their identity a secret. But first, we want to give a shout out to our exclusive launch partner, Tecovas. It's Wednesday, June 12th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I just want to make sure, would you rather me call you Evil Mopac or just Evil?
You know, whatever feels comfortable for you about something that's totally weird to begin with.
I feel like so that, we can make sure we're on a first name basis, I think I'm just going to call you Evil for short, if that's okay.
That's fine. It's a name and a descriptor. So it's perfect.
Perfect. So first, right out the gate, I want you to introduce yourself. Who/what is Evil Mopac?
Evil Mopac is a dynamic force of both good and evil for the Austin metro area. I like to think that I'm a shepherd of all things, whether it's current events, traffic, politics, media, kind of whatever you're into. I feel very confident in my opinions and how they apply to everyone else.
I like it.
And just, I want to be clear, I want to get this out there for everyone. Everything you do in your car, I hear it. So no, you're not sneaking anything by me. So if you have Whataburger or something, you're not fooling anyone. You know what I mean? I see, hear, and smell all. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about Cybertrucks. And, they're made here in Austin. But I want to tell you something really funny. For a really long time, I thought there was only one Cybertruck. I thought I was seeing the same Cybertruck over and over again because every time I would see it, I would ask my girlfriend if she saw it and she'd be like, no, what truck? And so I thought I was seeing the same one truck all throughout the city for honestly, 2 months.
Oh, you thought it was the same one because it was rusting already after 6 weeks and it had no license plates and it had the same kind of dude driving it? The dude, the America's Most Wanted guy?
That's just it. I wasn't seeing anything other than the truck just in my periphery, just kind of lurking in my periphery. And then I would turn and it'd be gone. And I'd be like, did you see that? And every time my girlfriend was like, see what? And I'm like, it's like a tank truck looking thing. And she didn't see it. But I'm guessing you see them around.
Yeah, it was gone because it was heading back to a tow truck to be taken back to the dealer for one of its recalls. That's probably what happened.
So what I'm hearing here is that you hate them. You hate them. You would never drive one?
I don't really drive. They kind of drive on top of me. It gets weird. But no, if I were a driver, I'd probably pick a 77 Ford Pinto, the kind, those cars that exploded, slightly over a Cybertruck, not because of the explosion, because of the cool factor.
I mean, listen, I want to see the inside of one because it just looks ergonomically not safe or drivable or even comfortable to me. It just doesn't look like a comfortable thing to sit in.
Yeah, these are human beings who are driving this, or at least that's my working presumption. And I think they want to do it to kind of shock and awe people. I believe in their minds, it's a cool status symbol. They might be Elon Musk fans, and I think, again, I don't know this for sure because I've never talked to any of them, but I feel like the reaction they're getting from the general public isn't quite the shock and awe reaction that they're expecting when they look and there's a 7-year-old kid in hysterical laughter in a minivan next to them. And I think there is a segment of people who are going to be impressed by that, and that's fine. But I just think it's not quite the reaction they were thinking they were going to get. Kind of like sometimes you buy that hat, that cowboy hat or something, or
And you think it looks cool? Yes.
you think it looks cool, and maybe it does. I don't know, it doesn't. But like you go to that party on Rainy, and people are, yeah, it's fine. I mean, but I just want to say these are still my drivers and still my humans, and they're people in most cases.
What I'm hearing is that this is kind of like the crisis car, kind of like you get someone will go out and get a Porsche like after a divorce or something. So let's pretend that you are not evil Mopac. Let's pretend that you are in human form. Would you drive one though? If you downgraded to a human form, would you drive one?
Yeah, are we in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where there is literally no other vehicle for me to
Sure.
drive? No, I'm kidding. Of course I would. There were a Cybertruck owner, and they said, "Guy, handler, or whatever, I want to change your tune, take a drive." I would absolutely take them up on that offer, and I would go behind that wheel and give it a crack. I would bring my AAA card with me, of course, and a fully charged
Of
cell phone.
course.
I wouldn't go further than maybe 500 to 1,000 feet away from an electric charger, but I would give it a shot, and then I could feel even more confident in my in my opinion on it. But I would do it.
Okay. So here it is. I'm going to run down some facts just to see if it'll change your mind. Stainless steel bulletproof body. It can tow up to 11,000 pounds. The driving range is 340 miles. And evidently, even though I didn't see one, there's a cargo bed of 121 cubic feet of volume. Now, it costs anywhere between $81,000 and $101,000. But, I mean, that doesn't even sound like a truck, honestly, to me. That doesn't even sound like a truck. And this is Texas, but does that sound like a truck to you? Even with those
No, no,
bells and whistles I have in heavy quotations?
no. I call it a space
No.
Hummer. Other people have called it an Incel Camino. I didn't make up that other one.
It's That's tough. I love it. Whoever came up with that, that's brilliant.
It's a pretty good one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a truck. I don't know what it is exactly. I have seen videos which are sometimes unironically, sometimes ironically posted from Cybertruck owners showing them having trouble navigating. Like if there's a 3 millimeter pebble on a road, they're not able to go over it. They're getting towed out by like 1976 Nissan or something. So I think that what's happening is it's a blunt instrument for sure, stainless steel. But what people don't understand is if you get into an accident, this is basic physics, and you're in this stainless steel car with no crumple zones and things like that, actually more likely to be injured if you're a driver than if you are in one of those, let's just say Odyssey or something
Right.
that looks terrible after an accident, but that's only because it's using the power of physics. Your car crumples, it's absorbing the
To keep
force
you
in the accident.
safe.
The Cybertruck is not doing that because you want to look like a badass. But my understanding is if a feather from a grackle landed on a Cybertruck, you might have it in the shop for 6 months. So no,
So,
I'm not overly impressed with that. I don't, you can call it a truck, you can call it whatever you want to. I mean, I think it's a status symbol, and as far as a great vehicle that you can do cool stuff with, I feel like it's probably outmoded by like a Subaru Impreza or
okay.
something.
So you spoke a little bit earlier about what you thought that owners kind of were trying to portray when they got the Cybertruck. But what do you think the vehicle says about Austin? Do you think it's proof that tech is taking over?
I think it's proof that people who worship what some people call a tech behemoth is taking over. I think there's a lot of people who are fans of Musk and are, but
Ah,
I think what you might be seeing in the overall Tesla customer category is Tesla used to be a very kind of pro-environment, kind of liberal, and I think maybe Tesla is turning more towards a different market. Whether those people are concerned about electric charging cars and things like that, with the Cybertruck maybe more so than just a normal Tesla car, they're trying to make a statement that maybe other aspects of their life are not quite making.
But you don't think it says anything about Austin overall? Do you think it's saying anything about how Austin is changing, or especially like as it pertains to Elon Musk? Like right now he's the largest private employer in town. Of course, there are, layoffs. He laid off like 10% of their 23,000 employees in April. But how do you think this is reflecting on Austin? What does it say about us that now that Elon Musk and his, Tesla Cybertrucks are here?
Yeah, no, I think it's a reflection of 2024 society in general. I mean, Austin
Ah,
is not immune from societal trends. I mean, there's obviously a big manufacturing uh, facility east of Austin for Tesla. There's
mm-hmm.
a lot of Tesla employees in Austin. There's a certain draw to Austin now that is drawing people who might be fans of that from places like California and other places. I mean, it's not surprising to me to see Cybertrucks in Austin. In fact, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see Cybertrucks in Austin. I think this is one of the cities
Oh.
that we would be most likely to see them. For better or worse, these are seen as kind of innovative, new, technologically complex things. We can argue and quibble about whether that's true, but I would say Austin would be one of the cities in the country that I'd most likely see a Cybertruck. I think that makes perfect sense.
Do you have any favorite Austin Cybertrucks? Have you had any cool or strange encounters with any of them?
Every encounter I have with a Cybertruck is strange, for various reasons. But yeah, I think the Doge Dog Cybertruck, the Cyberpunk Cybertruck, two big ones that you're seeing a lot. It's amazing that you could do something which at least I'll make the argument is one of the least cool things you could potentially do to a car, and it makes it cooler. I had this argument with a few of my followers on Twitter, and they have come around that the Cyberpunk Cybertruck is actually a cooler and maybe the coolest Cybertruck there is. That is faint praise, but I believe it to be true.
We'll be right back after a quick break. We're back with Evil Mopac, who's dishing on Cybertrucks. Do you have any like basic thoughts on Tesla as a company's role in Austin, or how you think they are as an employer?
There are statistics that are out there about their general, how much they pay more, and that they're good employees. There are certainly individual stories within the company, including Austin people, that would contradict that to some extent as far as how the employees are treated. But I don't, look, I'm not an employment law expert. I don't know the trends and things like that. I do think there are a lot of people who are happy working there, and that's great. I mean, they contribute to the tax base. It's not all bad. I do let my personal feelings, and there are several of them, of Elon Musk bleed a little bit into some of this stuff, and I got to be careful not to totally let that impact what I believe in the company, because I believe you can find people who are happy working there. But again, this is against the backdrop of the CEO who's saying people are going to be working on the floor until midnight until we get this done. That is some insight into how he regards workers, I think. But it is a phenomenon. I can sort of depreciate the value of Tesla through jokes and things like that. But the reality is, it is a force. It is a big deal. And as I said earlier, though, I do think its market is a little bit unstable now, though, only because of how outspoken Musk has been and some of his political leanings and things like that.
Well, to that point, what do you think that Elon Musk himself brings to the city of Austin, aside from Tesla, aside from the Tesla paychecks? What do you think, if anything, Elon Musk brings to this city?
I don't know, but
Uh,
you have people who
Okay,
seem authentic to me, like McConaughey and Powell and political leaders and social leaders who have invested themselves in the city of Austin through tangible things that they have done, whether it's charity, whether it's a 501c3 they run, whether it's doing their movie premieres here. And then you have Elon, who I don't believe has invested himself in the Austin community in the way that a lot of other people would. I remember after he moved here, I think he might have been sleeping on some dude's couch at this point. This is 2021. He was definitely an Austin person then, and we have the freeze, the snow, all that stuff that happened with the power outages.
right.
And he made like one off-color joke about something unrelated to the thing for like 10 days, and then gave out some free water. Look, I'm not telling someone how to be and how to charity, but if you're asking me the opinion I have as far as his investment in Austin, that is a tangible opportunity that the world's at that point, I believe, the second richest man or person had to do something amazing. It was just like where are you, dude? He was in
Exactly.
Texas at that time. He was here. So, that might have been just a bad taste in my mouth. I can't lie and say that I'm into this dude. I'm not at all. And I think that he is a little bit of an albatross for his own company's growth and sales and stock stuff. But that's for economists, not for roads.
So you got your start on Twitter, which is now owned by him. How do you feel about being on his platform while not really digging him as a person so much?
The way I've sold it to myself is Twitter was around before he got into it, and if he doesn't destroy it, it's going to be around after he's gone. He is a caretaker. He didn't create it himself. He didn't invent it himself. He doesn't know the technology. It's nothing to do with him. He just had enough money to make one of the most shambolic business deals in history, paying for what he paid for Twitter. As long as there's some restraint, I think there is a future potentially for this company. I stay on it because I almost feel a little bit like a resistance fighter. And I don't smooch anyone's keister on this platform. I don't do it. It's not my thing. And maybe someday I say the wrong thing and I log in the next time and I'm not there anymore. That happens. People get disappeared all the time. And then I'll go to one of the other 5 platforms I'm on that I barely post on, and we'll go forward.
Describe Elon Musk in 3 words. Just 3 words.
Fraudulent tech cowboy. How about that?
Ooh, I like it. Fraudulent tech cowboy, into it. Now, we've seen a lot of Cybertruck fails. You mentioned some of them earlier because I know you're evil. So I know that you're relishing in the failure. Do you have a favorite?
Oh God, so many. It's just basic ones where like someone has watered their lawn and there's a little like tiny stream of water in the road, and the Cybertruck has to be like towed through it. Like situations like that where it's the idea is that it's filming itself going off road or doing something complex, and it's doing something very not complex, like driving on soil or something without rocks.
Recently, I read that there was a Cybertruck rodeo on June 2nd. I need to know what you think about that.
Well, I'm glad you asked that. I went to a Cybertruck rodeo, I believe it was in 2022, so it was a similar vibe, I think, and it was held in Austin, and I actually attended it incognito,
What?
or my handler, quote unquote, attended it, and
Of
I
course,
was
of
live
course.
blogging on Twitter the entire night, taking pictures of it and having levity be my guide, all the way through him going on stage, and his hat was hat on backwards. And that
Oh
was one
my
of the most fun
God.
things I've ever done. Something that I would have been one of the most cringy things I've ever been to. I actually had a really good time, and I think a lot of people there had fun. I will say that. It was fun.
Was it at the factory?
It was sort of like out in that area, yes. I mean, it was, so they had like displays and they had actual cars. So
Was there a huge drone show?
yeah, there was, I believe there was. I think someone might have slipped me some mescaline at that point, but yeah, there were things like adult playgrounds. It was kind of a midway feel of like all these different little displays. And then they had a little bit of the floor open to show the product. And then because there were a couple speakers and Musk came on too.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So my mom lives out that way and she called me and was like, there are things flying in the sky and I don't know what's happening. Like it freaked her out because there were things flying in the sky and she was so pissed off about it because it was lighting up the sky. And then evidently a bunch of people had called the cops while that was happening because he was having this ridiculous drone show, didn't tell anybody, and people thought there were UFOs landing. It was almost as worse as that big spaceship that someone made him that looked like a butt plug. It was like the same kind of hullabaloo around that huge drone show for that Cybertruck rodeo. Was there anybody famous there? Who else was there?
Yeah, I was there. He didn't get like the usuals, like a Kid Rock or Scott Baio or anything. There were some people. I think maybe the mayor was there at the time. Musk was definitely the biggest name there. It was definitely an Elon Musk show.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It scared a bunch of older people. I mean, that's not funny, but it scared a bunch of older people, and my mom was pissed. And she was one of those people that called 311 like 17 times.
She called 311.
Oh yeah, she called
This was
311, but
2022. Have they called back? Have they called back yet?
I am not going to respond to that. I'm not responding to that. Not falling into it. Do you have a message for Cybertruck owners as they travel on your roadway?
Yeah, my message is this. Don't listen to all these people saying all these mean-spirited, ridiculous, totally 100% true things about the car you're driving. Just go in there, have the self-confidence it took to, jump on a dating platform for the first time, and just live your truth. I'll say that, live your truth, because the scooter thing kind of fizzled out, and this was like an incredible lifeline for my account, that something came and took the place of them, that I'm able to rely on when nothing else is going right. I have the Cybertruck. I just want to say thank you for having me on, and I want everyone who listens to this to come and see me at 5 o'clock, preferably on a weekday, and we can continue this conversation in my backyard.
I'm sure that everybody would absolutely love that. See, I told y'all that would be fun. I want to thank Evil Mopac for joining us. We'll have the links to their socials in our show notes. Now, I know this is a controversial topic, so we want to hear from you. Do you love Cybertrucks? Hate them? Were you like me and thought they weren't real? Leave us a voicemail or send us a text at 512-200-2227. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.